If you've been following my posts recently, you may recognize my cooler unit here that my son so kindly put the exhaust vent on. But do you know the connection between the cooler and my little jar of medicine there? About 2 to 3 months ago, I started feeling not too great. Skin getting dry, thirsty all the time, not really thinking clearly, tired, achy, just really not feeling great. And I went to the urgent care locally one Tuesday morning after I'd had a really bad Monday night. And they did some blood work and told me I needed to see my primary care physician. So I did that about a week later, actually. And they got back test results from the urgent care that didn't look too bad. But she took more tests, had me get more blood work done. I ended up getting 6 vials of blood work, which I laughed because one of the tests was to see if I was anemic. And I figured, well, if I wasn't before, I might be now after 6 vials. That testing has been coming back okay, basically. But one of the things she said when I was there was that it was interesting that I was saying that my symptoms began around the time that I had picked up another prescription of the Synthroid. And she said she wondered about that because apparently the manufacturer of Synthroid, excuse me, was switched to a different company recently, and she wondered if that might be the problem. Well, I always take the brand name. Contrary to what they say about generic is just as good as brand, no it isn't. The medicine might be the same, the chemical medicine might be the same, but there's fillers and carriers that transport the medicine throughout your body, and those are different. I had my thyroid removed decades ago and found out very early on that if I was taking the generic, I might as well not be taking it at all. So I've had taken these little pink pills for decades. So I thought, well, when I got home, I thought, well, I'll look it up. It turns out that that transition to a different company was back in 2015. So I figured, okay, well, that's probably not it. But what might be causing my Synthroid to not work all of a sudden? So I looked further into it. Remember back in July, we had that heat wave here in California. Got up to 118 degrees out there, outside. My apartment stayed between 96 and 99 degrees Fahrenheit for almost a week. And it turns out that this Synthroid, and I get the feeling a lot of medications, need to be kept at between 59 and 77 degrees. So basically, the working theory here is that the Synthroid that I've been taking was inert. In other words, it wasn't working. The chemical broke down and it wasn't working. So for about at least 2 months, I've been taking the pills every day, but they're not working. That's kind of scary because I have nothing in my body right now that produces the thyroid hormone because I have no thyroid at all. And if you go for 3 to 5 months without the thyroid hormone, you die. And I've gone now for a little over 2 months. So, on the working theory, this is the problem. I'm heading for the drugstore right now to get a new prescription, and these little pink pills are going in the trash. Oh, and by the way, my blood work for the thyroid did show that there's less of the thyroid hormone in my system. I won't try to explain the test that they do because it's a little backwardy sounding if you don't know what they're talking about, but there was a change, significant change in the test.